Hello everyone, my name is JMLisondra, and today I'm going to teach you on the proper way of painting mountains, and this will also teach you on how to paint perspective. Okay, so before that, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and please don't forget to click the bell button, enable you to receive notification from YouTube or if ever I have a new tutorials coming. Okay, so as you see, I have here my pen palette, and I also use the same colors, and also the brushes. I think I'll just use two brushes. Okay, so I think I'm going to start now, and so first I'm going to show you the common mistakes on painting the distant mountains, and okay, so I'm going to start now. The first mistake is the the contrast of colors. So some artists or some beginners will use very dark tones or very dark values of color when they put the background or as the background of the mountain. So here, so I'll show you what I did before. I'm also a victim of this one, guys. This was also I did when I first paint the mountains. So here, I'm gonna use the dark color blue and white. Mostly I just use uh, pure blue color before. So here, I think it was darker than this one. Okay, so this is the first mistake, guys, putting dark colors on a distant mountain. So I think I'm gonna show this one that this is a very far mountain. Okay, okay, and this will be the proper way on adding colors when you paint farther mountains. So I'm gonna add lots of white and also raw umber. I'm going to add lots of white and raw umber. That's too light. I'm going to add some more blue and raw umber. I'm adding raw umber to make it a little grayish, and also red. Red is also important to make the color grayish or purple. We need to add more blue and red to make it purple. I think this is a good color. I'm gonna add more blue. So according to the law of aerial perspective, the farther the object it will become fainter and more bluish. So we need to make the object or the mountain bluish in color, but not really literally blue, guys. Blue means just bluish in tone, or I think it's more like a bluish gray. You need to try to observe the distant mountain if you have time on your backyard or on your background to see if that's really a blue or yeah, something like bluish. There. So as you observe, yeah, the two colors, the two mountains has really different color. That's the difference between the two of them. Okay, so that's how you see the difference, guys. And the other difference is that adding the data, adding the highlights here. So let us see. I'm gonna put highlights on that mountain there. So again, gonna use blue. There. I think I'm gonna put some trees or forest on that mountain. So I'm gonna use the blue. I'm gonna put some white on it. Some common mistake, guys. Some put too much green on it to make some trees and other object on the mountain. So I'm going to create green. So I added yellow on it and white. So here. So yes, this is some of the most common mistake. There. I can't almost see the color of the highlights. So I'm gonna add more white. So as you see, the details of the forest is just too big. Yeah, the details of the trees or single trees are just too big for the mountain. I think we need to lesser that one. So that's a common mistake. I'm gonna add more white to emphasize more. There. So yeah, that's a common mistake. And here, the proper way. So we still need to use green, but we need to make it faint or fainter or lighter, or I do not know the really good term for that. So I'm gonna use again some blue and yellow, of course, to make some green and red. Some green and more blue to make it more bluish or blue green. And we're gonna add some white on it. Lots of white to make it lighter than the background. So make sure first thing you need to work on is to make sure that the highlight should be lighter than the background color. Okay, so here. So first we need to create, yes, that's it, that's alright. You know, add to more green and blue. Make sure that the trees are smaller than the are really small. Yeah. So I think we need to use a smaller brush for this job here. So I'll be using the number 7 flat brush. So just use a smaller brush. So here. So these are the forests or trees on this mountain. So you need to create a very small trees to create a good detail. Actually, you can use a bristle brush for this one. That will be better. You can actually make it more specific. Yes, that's it. here. There. I'm going to add more trees here. So you need to blend it to lessen the contrast. As you see, that aerial perspective states that the contrast will be lesser when an object becomes farther. So we need to create a lesser contrast. I'm gonna add more white to make it more visible, but the contrast is still less. Do not to add too much white on it. There. So compared to this one, the trees are smaller. There. So this will be a forest mountain. So we need to add also a little forest here on the back of the mountain. No, I mean highlights. There. Okay, so you can see now the difference between the two mountains here. So here you can see clearly that there are trees or forests or group of trees here on this mountain, and it's way smaller than this one. So that's common mistake of every artist or beginners. Okay, so here I'm gonna create another mountain. So here I'm gonna use again a dark color background, so I'm gonna use some gray here, purple, so red and blue. So here I'm gonna put another mountain. So again we're using two really dark color. Okay. So we're gonna do the background first. Okay, and now we're gonna also do the second mountain here, but we're gonna make it lighter. Okay, so compare this one is very dark. Actually, you can. So there are some instances that the mountain will become really dark, but you can still see clear that it will be a little bluish or bluish in color or purplish or purple. I'm not sure what purple is. So it will become a little purple and bluish or lighter. Even it's dark, it's still lighter than the object from nearer to us. Okay. So here I'm gonna use some more blue. I think I don't have blue yet. I'm gonna add blue on my palette. So here I'm gonna mix some blue and another red to make it purple. But we need to add white to make it lighter. And more blue. I had lots of ants on my palette. I don't know where they come from. Let's try to mix it more blue. I'm going to add more blue again, I think. And white. Okay. It's now more purple, but you can make it bluish. I think we're gonna add more blue in it. There. So when you compare the two colors, this one is way darker than this one. So that's one of the most common mistake. But I think we need to make it a little more darker. Yes. Just add more blue on it. There. Okay, that's it. So we need to add um, another details on this mountain here, the dark mountain. So actually, we also put a cone mystic detail on adding this one. So I'm gonna use yellow again and blue to make some green and white there. So you need to add some forest trees here. There. Okay. So as you see, when you compare the sizes of the forest trees here to the farther mountain, it's almost the same. So actually that is a mistake, of course. So when you see an object on a distance, it should be smaller than this one. So this one is really big compared to this one. Ah no, it's the same. The color, the size is the same, and the only difference is that's the different color. So you should remember that, guys. When you put an object farther, it should be smaller than the near object. Okay, I'm gonna add more highlights on that object. Oh, nearer trees. There. So these are also forests. So that's it. So you can now see the difference. This one is almost the same with this one. The forest with this on this one, the trees with this one is the same on this one. So that's a mistake. And now we're going to correct that here, and we're gonna use different color. So I'm gonna use more bluish stone. I'm gonna use more bluish stone on that compared to the other one, because it's still far from us. We need to make it a little bluish so that it will be upper more distant or misty as what the aerial perspective said that. So I'm gonna add more white. So here, and I think yellow. I think that's too much yellow on it. I'm gonna add more blue there, and white. I think white. Yes, there. So So you need to be careful in adding the trees. It should be bigger than this one here. Sorry. I think I'm gonna add more blue in it. And white and yellow. There. So you're gonna put some bigger trees here. So you need to blend a little on the edges to make it soft. Okay. That's it, and I'm gonna add more white to add more highlights. Just a little, that not too much. Again guys, you need to control the contrast. It should not be contrasting. So, too much contrast will okay. Yeah, that's it. So as you see, compare the two mountains, this one is a little lighter compared to this one, it's very dark. And when you compare the two, it's this one really looks realistic to compare to this one. Okay, now we're gonna put the third mountain here, or I think I just put the forest. And now you can put wait, I'm going to add first some colors here, some random colors. I'm gonna make it a little bluish. It should be lighter. Also here. Okay, now we're gonna create um, some trees here on the bottom or on the field, so that we can compare the nearest object, the farther, and yes, the nearest, the middle, and the farther objects. And here I'm gonna use the darker tones. I'm gonna use now the darkest color. I'm gonna put more blue. There. And I'll be using the same color because it is now near to us, so I'll be using the same color. It's now dark. Okay, I'm gonna make it darker. You can actually use a bristle brush to add more details on this one. Okay, I think I'm gonna make the fill lighter. But first I'm gonna put more blue. Just add white and green and yellow. So there's a field on the back of these trees. And also here. Okay, now we need to mix some green to add some details on the add some trees on the nearer forest. So we need to mix some green color. So this one I'm gonna do it the same with the other one to see the difference with the mountain or how it affects the beauty of the mountain. So this one should you should expect a bigger trees because it's the nearest tree, so it should be bigger. Blue and yellow to make some green. And we need to mix green, and I'm gonna add some yellow and white on the top here to create some trees. It should have a bigger leaves like this one. There. And the contrast will greater compared to those on the mountain. There. So this one you can now see use a very contrasting color. Okay, yeah, I think I'm done. So I'm going to explain to you guys. I'm doing the same trees here, but the common mistake here is that putting the colors and the details of the mountain. So we're gonna compare the two. As you see here, the details of the trees or the forest of the mountain is almost the same with the newer mountain. So that will be common mistake. So the first mistake will be the color, the background color. It should be lighter, like this one. The second mistake is the size of the trees, like this one. This one is big. This one is big. It should be smaller, like this one. So it should be like this one is smaller, and this one should be bigger, the nearer one. Okay, so and also the color is darker. It should be lighter. Okay, so those are the common mistake, guys. Again, I'm going to explain to you the what is the area perspective, so you can search it. Area perspective is the change in the color of an object when it becomes light farther, like the mountain. So when you see the mountain farther from you, it will become bluish or fainter or lighter. The color will be lighter or bluish. So that will be, from there you can see the difference between the nearer and the farther mountain. So I hope you understand, guys. It's really hard for me to speak and to explain this in English. So I hope you learn. I mean, you understand. Okay. So I hope guys to get something out of this tutorial, and I hope you are learning. I hope I deliver you the best. That's what I do, guys. I need to show you the proper way. Okay. And I will wish you well, and I hope you learn from this lesson. Okay. I want to say, guys, thank you so much for watching this video today, and please hit like, add some comments, and subscribe for more videos in the future. And my devices, keep on practicing, keep on painting. The more you do it, the more you know how to use your brush, the more you know how to mix the colors. So I'm using limited colors in my palette because I want you to learn to mix and get the desired colors you want. Okay guys, once again, thank you very much. Have a nice day and God bless you all.